Hello, everybody. Welcome to Relentless and Stopple. Today we have our guest, Sean Hoy, and my co-host, Doug Kenny. Hello, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hello, how are you? Hey, good guys.
Thanks.
How are you guys?
Good, thanks.
We're all on different continents. That's awesome. Well,
yes.
half
Almost.
of us. I went to public schools. I don't know. I forget how many continents there are. Regardless, it's great to be here. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Good to have
So,
you.
Sean, give our followers a bit of how we met.
God, where do we met at? Was it pizza?
I think it was Peter Piper Pizza.
Peter Piper Pizza on Baseline, and you were trying to steal my sausage pizza, dude. And I was like, "Who is this guy? I got to meet him in person." And then, yeah, you took my pizza, and I had to eat crusts. Thanks, Doug. That was,
Gosh.
But then we became friends after that. That was the pizza meeting. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I thought I was going to get away with it.
Yeah, you rarely do, my friend, especially if it's sausage pizza. So if anybody's out there and wants to mail me a piece of sausage pizza to make up for that, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. So, what are you known for?
Gosh, it's funny. My last name is Hoy. So years ago, should I give you like a little synopsis of my life? It'll only take like an hour. I'm kidding. No, so a little synopsis just so people can catch up to see exactly what I do. I've been doing what I do. Can I say do on this on air, guys? Is the same thing. I was always the class clown, like third, fourth grade, always drawing cartoons, always getting in trouble and whatnot. So a few decades later, obviously, I'm still doing that, but getting paid for it. So I remember when I first started drawing sheep, I would sell sheep for like 10 cents, a cartoon sheep. To make money. And it's kind of neat though. I did that in high school. I was the class clown. I went to ASU, Arizona State Sun Devils. Yeah. And at that time I was doing stand-up comedy. I started in acting. I moved over to broadcast, and then I got a PR degree and a public speaking degree. At the same time though, during my 4 years at ASU, I was the editorial cartoonist. So it was a wonderful deal, man. I'm telling you. And then so doing stand-up, I got introduced to improv comedy, and that changed my life. And I took this improv comedy that I've been doing. We can talk about that as well. And I do it for companies and businesses. I use improv and I teach people how to utilize the power of humor. At the same time, I draw cartoons, give out stickers, and I paint murals on people's homes. People that don't even hire me. No, that'd be great. And that's a synopsis of my life. So I've been doing what I do all my life, and I sometimes get paid for it.
That's awesome that you're enjoying it. That's pretty cool. So, what examples did you get in trouble for that are fun?
Oh my God. Yeah, I was just that type of kid. I would just get in trouble for just silly stuff, with the substitutes and whatnot, or like, hey, we can all leave class. People always would look at me like, what the heck? And my friend's gerbil died once, and so we had a seance in the library, and I was burning candles and whatnot, and I'm like, we have to have a seance for your gerbil. And I guess you're not allowed to have matches in elementary school. B, you're not allowed to bring in dead gerbils. So yeah, I would get in trouble for quite a few things. I actually have a report card that if I need to find it and send it to you guys. In like fifth grade, the teacher said, Sean wastes too much time trying to make his friends laugh and drawing cartoons. I had to repeat that class 5 times.
Oh.
I'm kidding. But no, yeah, I have a report card. So I would just get in trouble. But you guys, it was never like being mean to somebody. I was nice to everybody. It was always that kind of like, do we give him like a compliment or do we fire him? So. Did that answer your question? Sense. Tell me if I ramble too much. I just had some coffee, so.
You're not rambling too much. No. It's your story to share.
Oh, yeah.
So, aside from that, how did you found Hoylarious Studios?
So, with that said, I was still doing stand-up comedy, And a friend of mine, I don't know if he had said it or we both came up with it at the same time. I was doing like, when I did stand up, I was just really, you think I'm high energy now. I was super high energy. And he gave me a quote, but it was funny because he was introducing me. He was the MC of the show. And he goes, coming up the stage now is John Hoylarious. The guy's freaking Hoylarious. And I was like, I'm sticking with that. So I just used it Hoylarious. And then people always ask what I do. And I came up with Hoylarious Studios because I do a few things. Like I said, 3 or 4 things that I do well. So that's how I came up with more of the Hoylarious name of the studio. But it's kind of catchy because, you know, it's like, is he Hoylarious or hilarious?
That makes a lot of sense. Fire away, Brendan.
When did you start getting interested in cartoons? Like, when was the first time you drew something and thought, oh, that's something I want to do?
You know, it's interesting you say, Brendan, because my father and my mom met at the Washington Post, a big paper. Have you guys both like heard of this very big paper in Arizona? So it was so my parents met there like in whatever it would be, the 60s, 70s. And my dad was a White House photographer for the Washington Post, and my mom was his secretary. And I say that because the influences that we had there were really, really neat. And my dad was very supportive because he was an artist of my art. So he would always bring me home like pencils and pens. And he always gave me, even at the age of like 6 or 7 or 8, these editorial cartoonist books. And I'm like, I want to be. So that was my goal, was to be an editorial cartoonist at a paper to be paid for. So I started drawing like at 6 or 7 full cartoons with the whole caption and whatnot. I think, Doug, I think that answers your question. So that influence that my dad gave me was really neat because he went and got me the old school ink and dipping it in and putting it on the paper. It was really neat. But I started young, man. And I started with punchlines too. I always like, okay, I got to set up, twist. I always had to set stuff up.
Yeah. Give us an example of your stand-up jokes.
God, you know, speaking of stand-up, I segued so much from stand-up comedy to improv that now I just do it like reacting to people. So I never have any like set jokes, you know. Like, I don't mean to disappoint you. You probably have more jokes than I do. You could probably teach me about those. But yeah, I don't really have any like hey, you know, pull my finger. You know, I don't have any, or you know, the dad jokes. You know, those sorts of things.
Yeah,
so
I know.
That doesn't help. Do you have any jokes? You always have jokes.
Yeah, I have a good joke if you want to hear it.
I want it and I'll use it and I'll steal it.
Okay. So I had athlete's foot last week. However, I'm not an athlete, so I just have foot.
Wait, did you make that up?
Yeah, I made it up a while ago.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. I like that. We got to get you up on. Would you do stand up? Have you done it?
I've never tried stand up, but but my sense of humor is out of this world. I think I could do good at it if I give it a try.
Yeah, no, you've got that. You're so sharp, man. You'd be really good at it.
Here's another one I know. Why did 6 and 7 get in trouble with the law? They were sniffing methamphetamine.
See? I'm telling you. We got a whole show. This is good.
Yeah, for sure. Fire away, Brendan.
Okay. When I was in school, I used to do cartooning too. I took a class there, and it was just a bit of fun for me. And I used to just draw to entertain people as well some of the time. Yeah. So
do you still draw?
Not very often anymore, but should get back into it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good expression, man. I'm totally obviously into creativity and everything. It's just like we can express it in so many ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
So what did you overcome to get to where you are? Because you went through some struggles that you've been open about.